What up, world? What up, world? You're listening to 35KY Sports. It's your guy, Murph.
It's your boy, Al.
Man, we live on location right now down here on River Road at Focus Basketball. What's good with you, big dog?
Man, dog, we in the gym, man. I love being in here. We in the sweat box, man, and we got a real special guest today, for real.
Man, legend in the city, man. We got, somebody that a lot of people been trying to get at, man, and we just thank him for stopping through and checking us out. Who we got with us today, Al?
Man, we have Cardinal great, Louisville legend, 2013 national champ. You may know him as Russ Ridiculous, but he's here on the show with us, 35KY Sports. We welcome Russ Smith on, man.
Appreciate y'all. You already know.
Man, appreciate you giving us a little time today, for real, man.
No doubt.
I just want to congratulate you, man, on your career thus far, for real, man. You making us proud here as Louisville Cardinal fans and Louisvillians, man.
No doubt, no doubt.
We just kind of want to open it up, man, and just kind of talk to you, man, hear about like what you kind of been up to lately, man, and just see how things are going with you.
Cool. I just got back off a season in China. I played in the NBL over there, and then I played CBA. But before that, I did a little bit of the D League and had a little stint in Turkey, Euro League, and then before that I was over here in the States. Broke the D League record and played in the NBA for the Pelicans and the Grizzlies. So been moving around a little bit, but now I'm going back to China.
Hong Kong, right?
Hong Kong, well, to sit there first.
Okay.
I'm going to sit there, make sure the visa's right, work visa's cool, and then I'm up and through to the mainland China.
Man, so how long is the flight over there?
Flight 16 hours. You gotta... Yeah, it's definitely rough, but it's comfortable though. That you get the little bed, you get the cot, so they make sure you well accommodated.
Right. Man, so let's kind of start back at the beginning of the Russ Smith story, man. Like, what are your fondest memories of like actually picking up a basketball and hooping?
Man, I would say being in New York, and there's a lot of special players in New York, but really making it out. Just hooping every day, working out, and competing. Cause there's millions and millions of people in the city, man. And then every day you gotta try to figure out how you gonna make it to the top of all that competition of all those players, of everybody grinding kind of just as hard as you. And to kind of be sitting here and looking back on what I've accomplished has been dope. But I would say my high school experience was amazing. And, being on the circuit in New York, traveling different borough to borough, different gym to gym, and, scoring the ball. That's what I was known for, playmaking, and just developing along with my game. I really couldn't trade that for nothing.
As a New York City baller, I'm curious to find out, like, give me something that like a New York City basketball kind of like tradition type thing that people wouldn't know about, like as far as just like if they grind there in New York in basketball, man.
The difference out here, in New York, there's no shot clock out here. You know what I'm saying? So in New York, for real, there's a shot clock, and it's more predicated on one-on-one basketball and winning your matchup. So every time I go out there, or every time I play in New York, my goal is to win my matchup, whoever it was. And if I win my matchup, then most of the time my team's going to win the game if everybody else wins their matchup. But out here, in the Midwest or in the South, basketball is more so, it's more team-oriented. And it's more like everybody's getting involved and You're figuring out a game plan as a team to beat the next team. But New York is so individual that if your team is good, then individually you have the right players because each player is winning their matchup. And I was a guy that can, go for 30 in a 24-minute game or go for 30 in a 32-minute game and, sometimes 40 or 50. And that's the way I grew up. I grew up putting the ball in the basket. And then in New York, you got a double team, immediately. So when the double team will come, if somebody gets hot or whatever, that's when I get rid of the ball. That's when I create for my teammates, and that's kind of when my playmaking came into play because I was always getting double teamed, and I always have to find an open man. But New York basketball was definitely different when I was growing up.
Who was, as far as like when you were growing up, who was some of the cats you looked up to as far as New York City ball players?
Man, it's a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, besides Kenny Anderson, I went to the same high school as him. You know, Stephon Marbury was that guy. You know, like I went to his camp all the time, and I got a chance to rap with him in China. He knows my dad, but there's nobody like Marbury that left an effect on the game the way he did, the way he used to cuff the ball going to the basket, his passion, his work ethic. But around my age, I would say Kimball Walker was somebody that when we was the same age growing up, that's somebody I looked up to, even though he was a year and a half older than me. And Irvin Walker was one of my favorite players to watch throughout high school. Lance Stevenson, still one of my good friends, but he was so dope because he was so much bigger than me, but he was kind of doing the same things that I was doing. But for a bigger player, that's obviously elite level, skill set and talent, and that's why he's at where he's at. And also, this will go under the radar for guys outside of the state of New York, but I say to this day, a guy by the name of Keith Spellman. If anybody in New York is listening, they'll know that name. He was probably one of the toughest dudes anybody in New York would ever have to play against. So I got a lot of respect for bruh.
The coaching in New York City, I think that's like one of the big differences, like what you were speaking on, as far as just it doesn't matter what size you are. You mentioned like Lance Stevenson, him being a big guard, but everybody's got to handle the ball. Everybody's got to be able to play one-on-one. What do you like inside of a New York City basketball practice? What are they kind of going at, looking for, as far as even with the bigs and everything?
Well, before I start this, shouts out Sebastian Telfair too. If it wasn't for Through the Fire, like it would be a lot of guys still not hooping. He got a lot of guys out of bed, but definitely. You see a lot of undersized big men in New York, and those guys are like the small forwards, but some of the good guys like that, they can play guard. So if you're a big man in New York, your job is to really make hustle plays, make defensive plays, and outwork or win your matchup. And the coaches, kind of coach off motivation. A lot of the good coaches in New York motivate their players and get the best out of their players. I played with a guy by the name of Durant Scott. And Durant went to Miami. Durant a lot of the times played the 4 or the 5, but he could also play the 1 and the 2 on offense. And he's one of those guys that was in New York that did everything. Like he rebounded, he pushed the ball, he got guys involved. He got the team hype, and there was a bunch of guys like Durant as far as the work ethic or how he played, but there wasn't many as skilled as him, and that's why he was where he was at. But coaching wise, I would say New York coaches is big on motivating their guys and getting their guys up to play, and getting their guys that if they're gonna come in the game and get 6 rebounds, go and get 16. Or if you're going in there trying to coast throughout the game and you're looking at a 12-point game, go out there and get 22 and give me 5 more offensive rebounds. If not, you're gonna sit on the side with me. Right. That's how coaches was in New York for real. But it wasn't really no team concept. It was getting the team to play with each other and get the best out of each individual player.
When was like that aha moment for you, like, damn, like I actually do got talent, like I can actually hoop? Like,
I mean, it was always that uphill battle with me, so I always thought I was better than a lot of the guys that were always getting that notoriety, just for the simple fact that I grew up thinking if I win my matchup, then I'm automatically better than you, and that's how I always carry myself. Like, so I led New York in scoring 2 years in a row. My junior, my senior year, we had Kimber in our league. We had Lance in the state. Guys like Brandon Trish was up top. We had Irvin Walker was there. In my senior year, a couple guys like Sean Johnson and Sylvan Landisberg. He went to Virginia. He was an All-American. But I thought, I was deserving of some type of invite anywhere. And then, I get to prep school. I do a 5th year, and on the circuit, I'm killing guys on the circuit. I'm going at people's heads and getting to prep school. A bunch of coaches on the sidelines, Florida's, the Pitts of the world, and I'm thinking I'm deserving of a scholarship, and you know I never really got one up until one of Coach P's best friends said, "Hey, this little dude, the best dude in the gym, man. You probably want to offer him." And you know, it kind of was funny at first. Like nobody would have even thought to offer Russ Smith a scholarship, especially at my size and the way I played. So that's why I was never on the ESPN sites, the scout sites, or any of the rank sites. And the sites was like, hey, if Louisville offered him, he might be pretty good. So let me throw 2 stars on little bro. And that's kind of how that went. But I always thought I was deserving of some type of recognition, and it didn't happen until I got to college and stuff started to really come to fruition. And after the 30-point game against UK, that's the first time in my life somebody said like, hey, that's one of the best players in the country at one of the best schools in the country, and things started happening really fast. And
that's when you punched on Julius Randle.
Oh yeah, that was the following year. Then the following year, I was a mid-season All-America, and things started really forming some traction, and then thus I became kind of who I was, and I thank Coach for the opportunity that he gave me every day.
That moment you got that Louisville offer, I know you had heard about Louisville just because of Sebastian and that's that recruiting saga. But what was kind of your your thoughts on Louisville as far as just coming here as a place before knowing it as a basketball player?
I mean, I was straight Brooklyn before I got out here. Like I'm thinking, anything Kentucky is tumbleweed and farms. Like that was me being from the concrete jungle. So I'm like, dang, like I don't really know what I'm getting myself into, coming out here. But all I know is that they can hoop. Like I see them all the time on college. I know Edgar went there because Edgar out of New York, and Francisco Garcia was out here. I knew Earl Clark through a bunch of people. He a Jersey dude, and so it was straight for real. And I always had love for Louisville, but my dream school was Syracuse.
Okay.
Like if I could, because I always wanted to be bigger than what I was, because I was a scorer. Like my favorite player was like, besides Iverson being a little dude and being like kind of similar, but I was a fan of Tracy McGrady, Kevin Martin, and I watched guys like Bernard King, like play just off the fact that they get buckets. So I'm
right.
I kind of want to be like those guys, and so me wanting to go to Syracuse and that school never even really sniffing me out, but I was a big fan of Johnny Flynn.
Man, Johnny Flynn was a beast.
Yeah, same size. So that's kind of how all that went.
The class that you arrived on campus with, you arrived with who all was in your class when you arrived on campus?
The Bullet, he was Mr. Kentucky, Elijah Justice. And we had Gorgie, and Tim Henderson too, and that was our class. So Gorgie was for real the only like on paper noteworthy scholarship, and then Elijah was a steal, to come here as a walk-on because he was Mr. Basketball here. So that's basically who I was up against.
What was kind of Patino's message to you upon arriving on campus? I mean, of course you knew it wasn't going to be easy,
right?
And you have the reputation, but it lived up to everything and more.
Yeah, man. Like I for real, I got here and I was like, well, I'm gonna learn what I can. Hopefully, one day be a coach, and be a sports analyst, be a broadcaster. Like after college, work my way up. That's what I was thinking when I committed, because I'm like, hey, nobody gonna take me serious. Nobody took me serious my whole life,
right?
And but I'm gonna kill everybody in practice. That was automatically what was gonna happen. Like once I got there, they was gonna feel me in practice because I felt like I knew I wasn't gonna play anyway. So I'ma just leave my mark on all of my teammates, all of the coaching staffs. Like, hey, little bro goes, little dude could go and hoop, and that was that. And then after, coach, he's always getting them. He treated me like, how he treated the starters. And, Peyton Seaver was there, and I used to see Peyton on the circuit. Like, what you got, what Louisville got from Peyton was a totally different Peyton I used to see on the circuit. You know what I'm saying? Like, Peyton was like...
He was a highlight reel.
Bro, he was ridiculous on the circuit. Like, he was 360ing and doing crazy. Like, he was just... instant footage, when you walk in the gym, and he got the Louisville and he became, super solid, and he became, like the brain of all of the operations we was running, and it was amazing to see that transition that Pitino had, because now he's gonna have a 15-20 year career playing the way he's playing now.
Right.
But Coach, he was everything. I thought he was. He's getting into everybody equally. He's yelling. He's active, and he's motivating. But at the same time, he's very serious, and he's not taking any shorts. He's not taking no half-assed things.
And as far as your time at Louisville, kind of give me your early half of your career. I know you weren't playing a ton. How did you stay engaged in everything that was going on as far as just off the court and working on your skill set, so when your time came that you would be prepared?
It was tough, man, because my first year, I wasn't even involved with the team. I wasn't even practicing.
You were injured your first year, right?
I was injured, but
did you break your wrist? Or?
I broke my foot, and I had tore my knee, my meniscus. But by the time November came around, I was healthy. I was fine, but I just wasn't playing, and Coach just wasn't rocking with me, which was cool. I ain't come in to go rock out. I felt like that offer itself was a favor, but I was really popular on campus, but just had nothing to do with basketball. Nobody even
I know. I would see, see on social media, you would be at the soccer games and volleyball games and girls basketball. You was really, really involved with, with the students and stuff.
Yeah, man. I was I'm not gonna say sit here and say I was that dude, because that would mean basketball and I'll be feeling myself, but really in the community on campus, I was that dude. I knew all the fraternities, I knew all the sorority girls, I knew all of the cooks there, I knew a lot of the teachers, a lot of the people that worked there, just people at McDonald's, and then I go around the city, I'll meet new people. So I was really active in the whole community.
Yeah, it really makes sense. Since a lot of people rooted for you, and got behind you, and that's probably where it comes from. Man,
even the school band, I could because I really didn't hang out too much with my teammates, my first year, because they were guys that they were playing and they were always practicing. They were with each other after practice. I sprint right out of practice and run to the student center to go get my reps in. So I knew all of the guys locally from the city that come on campus and hoop, and then even with the school band, I used to make songs with some of the managers. I was cool with all of my managers on the team. Man, I used to chill with them. We made some tracks, gave it to the school band. The school band was playing my tracks during the game.
Oh, man.
My first year, nobody would have even known. They playing my tracks. We on the sideline, and we pointing at each other yeah, drop that. Play that this game, man. It was dope. So now my second year come in, and everybody they're damn, he on the team, and he could play. We rocking with him, and that's kind of what it was after that.
So your second year, which the class arrives on campus with Shane, Wayne, Zach, and Kevin, Angel Nunez. It kind of really shifted, and that was those pieces were kind of a huge intricate part along with you on down the line into the national championship. Kind of when those guys got to campus, what did that bring to the team? And then your role began to increase as well with that infusion of young talent.
Right. It broke it was crazy, because a lot of guys that year got hurt. So Peyton had twisted both of his ankles. He had 2 severe ankle sprains that year, and that was his year to really go up and out to the league. His junior year, but he played damn near hurt the whole year. He was getting shots the whole season, and then so he was day to day. The bullet, Elijah Justice, was hurt. He had broken ribs. His knees was messed up, and he had concussions. Kevin Ware was ineligible. Wayne Blackshear had separated shoulders. Luke had separated shoulders. Cal had an MCL injury. Mike Merritt tore his ACL. Angel was off and on.
What was the infirmary? Hold on, what was all these injuries about? Was it practice or something, man? What's going on behind closed doors? We heard the rumors. Notorious Rick would run y'all on the ground.
Nah, but at the end of the day, you can't always put it on coach. You gotta take care of your body too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and say guys wasn't taking care of their body, but you gotta take care of your body.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And that's y'all was dropping like flies, man.
I didn't, but that's for me, I was working out like 3 times a day. You know what I'm saying? Like I was in the cold tub, I was in the weight room, and I lifted with the big man. Like they'll tell you, like I didn't lift with the guards for real. Like if I lifted with the guards, it was easy. Like I was repping stuff out. I was really strong for my size and my body weight. So I was lifting with Shane and Van Treese. If they benching 225, I'm over there doing 225.
Oh, man.
Peyton 185, cool. I'm gonna put a 20-pound weight vest on. All right, what you doing? 40? All right, I got 40. You know, your side, like I'm push myself to the limit every time because I had nothing to lose. You know, so I was just trying to gain the respect of my teammates because they were all McDonald's All-Americans and, you know, 5-star, 4-star guys. And I was like, well, I'm about to show y'all, like, you know what I'm saying, that I should be up there right with y'all. And that's kind of how that class went. That class really pushed me.
Turned y'all up.
Yeah, and especially for me personally. And then when they all got hurt, I think Chris Smith had, you know, and Coach didn't see eye to eye one practice, and I got an opportunity to start against Memphis, and I damn near had a quadruple double, and everybody was like, why hasn't he been playing? Like, he's been making noise this whole summer because we was in the Bahamas, and we was having red and white scrimmages. I was giving the starters 30 and 20, you know, so
everybody now is starting to question Patino, like, why are you sitting this guy?
And the coaching staff, like, it was good, like, you know, like, why ain't little bro playing? And
what was his reason at that time?
I mean, I didn't really fit into his system for real, you know. So like, I was really one of the first guards that he had that was kind of like a scoring guard that dominates the ball. You know, Preston Knowles was a scoring guard, but he didn't dominate the ball. Like Jerry Smith was a scoring guard, but he didn't dominate the ball. Like you're not gonna see Jerry Smith get the ball from 94 feet, come down and tell everybody move. I want a power screen. You know, I want to screen that midcourt. You know, so I was really one of the first guards that he had that kind of was like, all right, Peyton, if you tired, cool, you can go over there. I got it from there 3 plays in a row. Or you can just outlet it to me. You don't even got to push it. And I'm going to go get a basket 1-on-3, 1-on-4, and get us in our press and kind of push the tempo.
Right.
And so that's kind of how, and he didn't really have that. So it was really new for him. And so like my sophomore year, him trying to bring me into that, and that Memphis game kind of put me on the map. And then the next game we had Georgetown or WKU, and I kind of got MVP of the Billy Minardi class. And it was like, damn, he just did that 2 games in a row. Like, let's see if he could do it a 3rd game in a row. And then we played Georgetown, lost to Georgetown, but I was I probably had the best game on our team. And then we played another team from KY, did good, and then we played Kentucky. And obviously I came out for 30, and it's like, yo, he has to play. And from that point on, it was like we're a team that couldn't score anyway. So I'm going to make sure little bro on the court at all costs because he's the one putting the ball through the hoop. Right. And everybody hurt, so, I mean.
So how'd you feel at that point? Like you said, you know, like you have been like climbing the hill your whole life and you get the opportunity and you bask in the opportunity. How are you feeling at that particular point? Like, damn, I'm finally here. Like, this is it.
At that point, I'm like, look, then you got people in your ear telling you got to be more of a point guard. You got to get your assist turnover ratio. You got to do this. And I'm telling Coach, like, no, I'm not trying to do that because I didn't come here for that. Like, I came here to show everybody, you know, that I'm the best me, you know, right. I'm the best me you could get. So even me coming back after my junior year, after the national championship, I never really was thinking NBA. Like, you know, it all was happening too fast. Like guys are like projected to go to the NBA at birth. Right. You know, like guys have agents or people in their ear, people behind them, and guys had people's fathers would play in the NBA, and they developed their son to go play in the NBA. The NBA is a fraternity for real. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like, you kind of have to be from day one, and for me to, you know, develop my game and Coach P to give me that opportunity, and to even be a part of a fraternity that I probably shouldn't have even been in the first place. You know, I was thankful for it.
Right.
And that's kind of how that went.
I know you got a dope relationship with your dad. Like,
yeah.
How do you remember your dad feeling about those moments? Like, man, my guy's finally getting his opportunity and really doing his thing.
You know, it was amazing for real, because you know he was a ball player himself. But like my mom's was going through the roof, like, because my mom's know, like, emotionally, like, I'm always complaining to her. So mom's really felt me on like a spiritual and emotional level. You know, Mom Duke was the one I'm picking up the phone like nah, like it ain't. I'm trying to go because they not letting me score here. Like they not letting me be the best me here. They not letting me be creative. Right. And that's one of the biggest things I hated about, you know, playing basketball. Is even now, like, you play for a coach, and the coach, you'll feel like, yeah, the coach ain't better than you, or the coach ain't do what you've done, but he's telling you, like, you know, you can't be creative and he don't want to see this move. And you looking back, you like, hey, bro, like, I've been hooping for 20 years, bro.
Right.
I've been doing this. You
Check
know,
my resume.
Yeah, like, I'm not trying to come off as, you know, arrogant, or I'm never, like, getting into it head-to-head with a
right.
coach, but that's why, like, a lot of times the fun gets, like, taken out of basketball for me, because I like to be creative, and I know I can win my matchup. I got that much confidence in me. So that's how that goes, and so like nowadays when I'm hooping, it's keeping the job and the win, and now I'm enjoying it because I know that there's more to it, you know, more right. to, you know, basketball. I'm here to like inspire people and, you know, have people that enjoy the game, you know, they probably look up to me, so I want to make sure that I'm projecting the best image possible. But also, when I get a chance to meet them, explaining to them the ins and outs of the game of basketball and letting them know that there's more to being in the NBA. There's more than to being somewhere making a bunch of money. Right. You got to be comfortable in your own skin, because I could be making hundreds of millions of dollars and be the most, you know, depressed and uptight person in the world, because right. I can't play the game that I want to play or be as creative as I want. But some people are fine with that, and that's okay. With a guy like me, you know, I just
eat your life.
Yeah, I know there's more to the basketball than
life in general.
And life in general. So that's where I'm at with everything now.
And I got to commend you on just you kind of touched on it briefly right there, but just your professionalism with the game, the way you handle yourself off the court is important. The way you've always interacted with fans.
Yeah.
I mean, you talked about it with your classmates back at Louisville when you were a student. So just that professionalism, you know what I mean? I know it, you know, that's family,
right.
you know, that's where that comes from, your upbringing, your pops, and the people around you. So I got to commend you on that.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's just, it's really like, I just feel like as like depressed as I used to be, or as stressed out as I used to be, I never tried to bring that unprofessionalism or that bad energy into the locker room or to the coach, because I mean, at the end of the day, they're there coaching because they love the game. You know, they may not know the game as well as I do, but that don't give me any right to, you know, call them out on something that they love doing. And that's why, you know, times when I was in the NBA, I would try my best to, you know, assimilate to the culture. Like, all right, cool, I know I'm the craziest scorer on this team. I know I can break this play. I know I can take my man, but coach wants me to do this. He wants me to be like Mike Conley or do my best impression. I'ma try. And contrary to belief, my favorite point guard ever is, you know, Rajon Rondo. Like, man, I love Rondo. I would watch him just passing all day. Like, I'll pay for that.
Do you remember like the first time you met Rondo?
Yeah, it was out here. It was out here for real, and you know, we became close, which is dope. You know, and I expressed to him, you know, like on a couple of occasions, like, yo, I'm a little dude that really rock with you, bro. Like you got game, and you really see the floor a different way. And for me as a scorer to like recognize a guy like Rondo, who's a crazy passer, like, it's just incredible for me to watch. But like, that's the film I would watch, and so like a lot of times when I'm making passes off the film that I watch from Doe, and that's really how I develop my game, watching guys like Rondo and Mike Conley and even Drew Holiday I played with on the Pelicans. This is poisonous, so I'm gonna try and take everything from somebody that I've been able to touch, and those three guys kind of had an impact, you know, on my game as well.
Your stint in the NBA, what was something about the NBA, or whether it be the life, the culture, or the game that you know, it was just different than what you expected going in?
The thing I didn't, you know, that I seen that was you know, like, you know, wild or unexpected to me was that everybody has different opinions. So meaning, you know, like I come out and, you know, you take a guy like, you know, Damian Lillard, who went to Weber State, and you put him on the biggest stage of basketball, and he was dope anyway. But somebody believed in him. You know, somebody said, "That's our guy. We like him." You know what I'm saying? And they gave him that opportunity.
Invested in him,
and that's amazing. You know, like, and that's dope. And for me as a player, you know, I feel like I'm good as hell. I would be a salty, you know, a messed up, you know, a bitter person to go and be like, man, F Dame. Like, that's dope that somebody was actually sitting there, Jim was like, yo, I believe in bro.
Right.
I'm going to give bro a shot. And that's the same thing, you know, I feel about a bunch of guys that came out. You know, I see Kimber from New York, man, that's a blessing. You know, somebody was able to do that. And that was like eye-opening for me. Because being from New York, I'm like, God rock with me. I gave all these dudes 30. Check my math, check my resume. You know, that's what I'm on. Like, you know, who want me in the workout? Like, I'm at whoever. Like, that's how I was coming. And I realize now, looking back on it, it's more to that. Somebody there has to be guys that's vouching for you, to that guy that's making that decision, that's really going to rock with you and give you that opportunity. It's politics, but then it's also, you know, you got to pass that eye test too, you know, and a lot of times I didn't quite get that eye test, and I can live with that because that's me and I'm comfortable in my own skin. So if you're going to rock with me, you're going to rock with me out there going 1-on-3. You're gonna rock with me out there, you know, taking my step backs or creating opportunities for others the way I see best fit. And that's why I'm so comfortable in China, because the guys on my team, but even every team that I play for that matter, all my guys have career highs because we have an up-tempo style of play, and I give all my teammates that confidence. And we always lead the league in scoring. Like when I played here in Louisville, we were one of the leaders in the country in scoring. When I played in the D League, we had 3 or 4 guys on our team averaging 20 plus. When I played in Turkey, I was leading the EuroLeague in points per minute, but I didn't pass the eye test quite for Europe, so it wasn't a good fit. I go to China. Both Chinese teams I played for led the league in scoring, and all of my teammates had career highs. So no matter how many times I might look you off, or I might not see you, or whatever it may be, at the end of the day, on paper, you had the best season you've had in your career because of my style of play. And that's what I bring to the table. I bring that motivation, I bring that energy, and I bring that, you know, that locker room presence where it's like, yo, we gonna rock out. I don't care who we playing against, we gonna kill everybody. But at the end of the day, somebody gotta believe in me to see the full picture. And that's what's so dope about the game of basketball. Everyone has a different perspective.
Looking at like the business side of basketball in the NBA, if you had to put your finger on like one thing, what would it be like? It's my personal belief. Like, I don't personally think all the best players in the world are in the NBA.
Of course, yeah.
Guys,
of course, yeah.
So what would it like? And we know it's a business. So what would be the thing about it, like on the business side of things, that kind of negates some guys from getting there?
Well, I'll do like salary wise. So let's say you take a guy like Pierre Jackson, maybe. Or I'm gonna use myself. I'll use myself. My minimum in the NBA is about 1.1 or 1 million, right? And tax, that's like 550, 600. You know, so like that's like obvious. Like everybody believes you know that. But for 1 million of your team, everybody's gonna look in that room and go, are you giving Russ Smith $1 million to do what exactly for you? And then they have to ask themselves a serious question like, are we going to put him in the score? I mean, we have if you're the Toronto Raptors, you have Rosen, you have Kyle Lowry, you have Ibaka. So you kind of feel like your scoring is handy, you know. And then you have a young guy who you believe in that you're paying maybe 500, 600K that you may develop, and he may give you that 10 to 12 points a game that you believe in. You just go down from team to team like that, and then you realize it may not be a team for me. And it's like, all right, that's perfectly fine. But if there is a team, will they give me that 1.1? Probably not. So instead, they may offer me a two-way contract, which is like $80,000. But why would I do that when I can get, 400 to maybe a million overseas in 4 or 5 months, tax-free? You know what I'm saying? So then it almost becomes a no-brainer. Like, well, why am I staying to play in the D-League? The D-League players only make $10,000 a season. Summer League is for free. So like, you're basically playing the Summer League to hopefully get that opportunity. But for every guy like Quentin Cook, for every guy like Jonathan Simmons, there's a guy like myself, there's a guy like Wayne Blackshear, there's a bunch of them. And so the story sounds good. And even like the guy like Andre Ingram, he's been in the D-League for 12 years. There's a bunch of guys better than Andre Ingram. Andre Ingram is a cold shooter. Guaranteed he's supposed to get his opportunity, he's supposed to get his shot. Everybody's happy for him. But if you're a guy like Vanderbilt, or if you're a guy who believes that he's supposed to be there, or a guy like maybe myself, I'm going, my numbers are better. I feel like, I may be better, but he's a better shooter. He's been in the D-League. He's made his personal stain, put his work in. I don't know if I want to roll the dice because, they're calling guys up that, that's been there for 10 or 12 years rather than looking at my numbers and giving me that opportunity. I've had better numbers than all of the guys that have gotten called up, maybe with the exception of Quentin Cook, because he's had a 30-point season in the D-League, but I've also averaged 30 and 9 assists. So I've done the same thing that he's done, and I've never gotten an opportunity. I've got the D-League scoring record. I never got a call up. My teammate scored 61, and I was like, wow, you got a call up score 61? Well, I'm going to get 65. And that's the kind of confidence I have in myself, but that's also the business side. People never know what's going on behind the doors. Like, a guy like Kevin Durant, his agent may represent somebody who's not better than me. And it's like, and his agent's going to make that call, like, man, you want Kevin Durant to consider you free agency, you call Joe Blow up, who averaged 6 points and 2 assists, and my agent probably on the phone up to look like, Russ just had 44 and 20 assists, and you calling up a guy who had 11 points? Yeah, like, and they're not going to say, well, Kevin Durant's agent, but I know the game. A lot of people don't, and I got to respect the game. But at the end of the day, I'm going to rock out with my agents, like, regardless. And that's the type of dude I am. I'm going to stay loyal, and I'm not going to ever jump shit, because if you're going to rock with me, you're going to rock with me.
The thing with, do the agents control more of the game than people know as far as the ins and outs?
Sure, yeah, for sure. But I mean, most of the time people watching it for the entertainment, so like for me, even speaking on that side of the business, I don't want to sound like that's keeping me from the league. It's probably me.
But it's a part of it.
But it's a part of it. You know
it's a part of it that people don't know anything about.
It's a part people don't know about. It could be 90%. It could be 10 or 20%, but at the end of the day, it's a big part of it, and it's a fraternity. You gotta understand. You gotta understand that concept. Yeah, you gotta understand that concept. It's really a fraternity. Guys who go to the NBA most of the time, guys who get drafted most of the time, they've had a dad or a mom or some sort of kin that's played in the NBA or that's played in the MLB or that's played in that kind of realm. And for me to even make it, and after me understanding that, I feel like that's a dope experience, and I beat the odds that way. And now I'm happy in my skin. So when I'm meeting with these teams, or when I tore up in Minnesota in the mini camp, or went to Dallas and did my thing and tore it up, I'm like, you know what? I did my part, and everybody there knows that I did my part. So if y'all gonna rock with me, then y'all gonna rock with me. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna go out there and I'm gonna be bitter. I'm not gonna bring any hate or shame to anybody. Like, my dog Sean Kilpatrick should be on a 10 a year right now. You know what I'm saying? Easy. but we're gonna have to see it and wait that out and see if it comes to fruition. But I wish the best for him, and that's the way it is. Like guys that's really cold, I always hope that the best of luck comes their way because I know how hard it is.
When guys, I kind of feel like as if when guys do go overseas and they make that decision to play overseas, it kind of closes that NBA chapter. A lot of times it feels as if like it's no longer open for guys. Like once they make that decision, I don't know if it's the NBA, they look at you guys. I mean, part of it is I know y'all start making enough money where, like you said, the minimum now is just tax free, but it kind of feels like it closes that door.
Oh well. It does because guys ain't coming back for no 80,000, 50,000 a year, bro. Like it's just not happening.
Yeah, it's triple.
Yeah, like there's people over there making $2 million a year. Like you think they trying to come back over here, sit on the bench, go through getting non-guaranteed contracts? Like some guys is looking at it like, y'all got a lot of nerve. Like like y'all giving guys who ain't better than me $50 million a year, and y'all trying to give me 50,000? Nah, I'm staying over there. So it ain't like it's close, like they closing the door. Like nah, they closing the door on them. They like, bro, this guy's in church like Shaq and Randolph been over there, like eating. Like he's like, why do I gotta come back to the NBA? I'm getting damn $2 million a year in 5 months in China. Yeah, like I'll be dumb if I take 50 million, 50,000, 80,000. When I'm getting a ticket in 4 or 5 months. And then after that, after the 4 or 5 months, I'm gonna go play in Puerto Rico. I'm gonna go play, I'm gonna go catch on maybe on the EuroLeague team. You know what I'm saying? And then you get to experience other realms of the world, and then you start to really enjoy yourself. And the basketball kind of becomes, more of a blessing and an opportunity rather than a lifestyle, even though it is a lifestyle, and we working our bodies. You see me in here doing bands and foam rolling. It's our lifestyle, but we not about to sit here and go, man, I'm on a $50,000 contract. I'm trying to sign for $100 million. Like, because that happens to the ones who are lucky enough that it can happen to. Like you see a guy like Van Vliet. I played against Van Vliet. Van Vliet is a good player. Like he's tough,
but he's not better.
Well, I'm not gonna say that. Everybody has their opinion. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like this guy's out there, who can do what Van Vliet does. But Van Vliet is a good player. But if you're gonna give Van Vliet 30 or 40, whatever you give him, and you have a guy like myself or some guys that's similar to me, then why am I gonna spend 4 or 5 years in the D-League making 50,000 and potentially not ever get that, rather than go and save money and go and get my own money and make sure my stuff is guaranteed and making sure I'm locking up my own account. And I'll probably come back maybe at 30, 31, super polished. And now my game is at a point where it's like there's no flaws at all. But I do come back and I'm cool. Like my account good, my mind is right, and I can help young dudes out, and I can come back and I can be that guy. Right, exactly. And so that's why like man, like I'm happy for him. You got it, bro. Like you made it. You know what I'm saying? And there's a bunch of guys like that. So like even a guy like Isaiah Cannon, like I can never get mad. Like you got it.
Talk about your Euro experience. I know it's been going good in China. What's that experience been like in China?
Man, like for the first time I went to Europe, I was on my contract's online. I was on $1 million contract. I was getting $100 a month, and it went totally south. I played for a club, that one of the biggest clubs in Europe. And
I think I remember that. They put some clippings out about the coach saying some things.
But they will, and that's the business, and that's when professionalism come in. I never responded, and I'm still not gonna sit here and ever be bitter about it. But in their culture, they probably don't know no other way to dump a contract. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they do business over there. Yeah, they probably done broke a lot of Americans the way they did, and they probably thought they was gonna break me, but it didn't work. Feel me? Like I'm a Brooklyn dude, and I take pride in whatever I'm doing. So what they tried to do was try to put bad stuff out. They made me practice 3 times a day. This is after a month, like of being there. They made me practice. This is only me. So they removed me from all the practices. Tried to find me for missing all the practices to take money out of my account. And they wasn't paying. They wasn't paying me. So I only got like a half a check. The time I was there, I got all my money like after, but the time I was there, that 5 months,
Still mess with your mental.
Yeah, they didn't pay me at all. Like they paid me like a half a check, and then I'm practicing at 8, 2, and then 8 again. So three punishment practices a day for like 3 weeks until the coaches got tired of me practicing. I'm like, hey, bro, you paying me to play ball, so shit.
Yeah, I ain't got none of those.
I'm getting better. And then, so all that time I was there, I wasn't even practicing. Like, I'll get in the game, and then he'll just sub me in. He'll bring me to, hey, you gotta come to the game. I'm like, well, damn, all right, cool. I'm in the house. I'll rush to the gym. He'll throw me in the game. So I'm freestyling the whole time. And I'm in EuroLeague. Can you imagine, like somebody like Austin Rivers never going to practice, never being around the team, going through a bunch of BS, and then somebody just calling Austin Rivers, and he's on the Warriors, or he's on the team in the league. Hey, you got to be playing today. And they just throw him in the fire against the Warriors, throw him in against Houston. Hey, you got to freestyle. You don't know no plays, you don't know your teammates, and that's what went down in Europe. And I led Europe in points per minute doing that. Like so, and that was, and then I got there was a curfew issue. They put out a curfew issue, and I'm like, bro, I'm in Lithuania on a Tuesday. Like, what do you mean? Like curfew? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I wasn't even, there's nothing to even do to even break curfew. And that's what that was. And then another time they tried to get me. I got hurt, and the GM, after I got hurt, I was out for like a week or two, and the GM was just like, hey man, look, because I was coming back on injury, I was trying to practice, I was doing everything they were saying. They was trying to find me for missing buses, but they wasn't texting me about the buses, wasn't texting me about things, and they was like, all right, here's the craziest part. They were like, all right, look, the GM's like, look, we gonna work this all out, we gonna, massage this all through. And I'm like, cool. The night before, I'm like, all right, bet. So what are we doing? The next morning, we're gonna have some breakfast. So it's a bet. I get up, somebody pick me up from the crib, and I'm going to beat the GM. That's in my head. I'm going to have some breakfast. The driver gets a phone call, and he was like, and I just see his whole expression just change. And next thing you know, we make a U-turn, and I'm in Turkey, in Istanbul. Like, shit is blowing up left and right. Like, I don't know these people. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm out in nowhere land. I get taken to a hospital, and next thing you know, he's like, well, the GM wants to make sure you're okay. He wants to give you a checkup. He's on the phone with me right when we go to the hospital. And I'm like, oh, all right, cool, that's fair. Like, I'll see where this goes, but he wants to make sure I'm fine. That's straight. I get in the room, the lady got the little hammer out for your knee. She's checking, she's doing the bands, she's doing a little exercising, and she goes, all right, we're gonna need some blood and urine. I'm like, whoa, what? Like, hey, wait, what's going on? And I jumped off and I ran out the room. Like, I was scared. Like, I jumped up, ran out the room.
You don't know what they on.
I don't know what they on. So I ran out the room, and next thing I know, the GM popped from behind the room. So he's in the hospital. He's in the hospital the whole time. So I'm like, damn, y'all about to dirty my piss. Like, God, yeah, but I don't know what y'all's going to dirty my blood. Like, I was like, I'm good. Like, I just wanted to leave at this point. It's like, call your agent right now. You got to take this, blah, blah, blah. You got to take this test. Like, they pressuring me and all this. I'm in a whole other country, bro. Like, I'm shook. So I'm like, hey, congratulations. Like, y'all got me. Y'all had me shook out there. Like, y'all finally had me shook. So he's like, well, I need this in writing, that, you can take the test. I'm like, damn straight, I'm gonna put that in writing, and I'm gonna take a picture of it and I sent it out to my agent, my pops, like all of my homeboys, and shit. I ain't even know what's going on.
Might be left for dead.
$1 million on the line, like, you know what I'm saying? They probably, I don't know how they do business over there. So yeah, like, I'm shook over there, and after I do that, I call my agent calls me back, and he's hysterical. He's like, did you take the test? Like, did you do this? Like, what happened? I'm like, nah, I ain't take no test. I got up out of there. He was like, good. And I'm like, in my contract, I know I can't take no test the day of, because if that's the case, they'll be popping the records all the time. And he was like, right, like, in your contract, though, your agent has to know that. Your agent has to put that in your contract. Like, your team can't my team couldn't issue me a drug test without 3 days prior notice. And my agent's prior notice, and we got to sign off on that. And they knew that, but they just tried to pop it. You know what I'm saying? So, long story short, I scheduled my own doctor out there, my own appointment, my own drug test, with my own people that my agent works with.
That's
and
crazy.
had to take a test there, and I took the team test. So I ain't running from you. I just don't trust you.
No, you didn't want him to sabotage.
Right.
Because, I mean, it wasn't nothing to say and send back a negative test on you. You'd be like, contract void.
Right, contract void. Now everybody in Europe, now everybody in the States know, oh, Russ is dirty, like, oh, Russ blood dirty. Like, shit, they could have put anything in there.
Yeah, they're going to say steroids.
Right.
For life.
And it dogged me. So, like, that was Turkey. And then after a while, it felt like people was following me. Like, so I stopped. They issued me a car. Like, I stopped driving. Like, I got pulled over one time, and I wasn't even drinking or nothing. And I ended up getting off, like, but I was just like, nah, I'm paranoid.
Overseas? Yeah, that's
I'm just paranoid at this point.
I don't know what the jails are like over there.
I don't know what jails are like. I don't know what they little dudes are like. They little hit me, like, it really got serious, and that's why, like, when I was over there, I wasn't saying nothing. I wasn't trying to put out no bad rapport on the team, like, but, like, make a long story short though, that's probably how they do business. And at the end of the day, you gotta respect everybody ways of getting there, everybody methods of getting there. But I'm just glad I got out of that and got another opportunity. But it messed me up though for a while. I ain't wanna touch a rock. Like I came back here, didn't touch a ball for like a month. Some change, like it really screwed me over.
That could have like led to some real depression, right?
For sure, man. I went to the D League, and I had the best assist turnover ratio I ever had. And I mean, especially after coming from a place where the coach would take me out. Looked like I was gonna throw a turnover. He subbing me, and I mean, I played in the game over there where he started me one time. And I had 6 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds against Real Madrid. This is, like that's them dogs over there.
Yeah, that's the top team.
I did something wrong. He took me out and ain't played me to the end of the fourth quarter with like 30 seconds left, and we down 10. He put me back in with 30 seconds. We lose the game. After the game, the CBS, the Fox News, the all the big news, the ABCs of America over there. He telling all of them, yeah, Russ Smith lost us a game. I'm like, what, bro? I'm like, bro, I played 6-7 minutes. I started for 5 of them. 5 or 6 of them and played the last 30 seconds.
So like, why do you think that they tried to sabotage so much shit? Like, it just, like, you not a bad dude. It ain't like you were coming
$1 million contract. I'm trying to dump
just
it.
All about the money.
Because if I could dump that contract because the team's kind of playing bad. Like my other dude, Dentman, he left early. Like he left early. Like he left way before me, and he settled. I don't know what he settled for, but I'm like, nah.
Give me my money.
Yeah,
I want my bread.
I need my bread.
Yeah, because if y'all gonna put me through this, then y'all gonna pay me for all this. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was on, and shit. Like I said, I'm comfortable in my own skin. So whatever you gonna give me, I'm gonna take y'all worst at the end of the day. So give me y'all worst, and I'm gonna win out. But I mean, I was there when somebody got one of their like political leaders got assassinated on TV in Ankara. I was there right after the coup when the military overthrew the government. I left at this nightclub I used to go to called Rainer. You may have heard or you may not have. There was a shooting there. God dressed up as Santa Claus came in and bucked at everybody, killed like 90-something people. They were jumping into the sea. Like it was one of the worst mass shootings in the world.
And that was while you were over there?
This is while I was there, but I had left.
That night before it happened?
No,
okay.
yeah, so like I reached my agreement to leave on the 20th, but the team was trying to get me to stay for like till January, you know what I'm saying, for like tax purposes or whatever. But I wasn't feeling. I'm like, dog, I'm going home for Christmas, you know what I'm saying, for the holidays. I'm trying to get out of here. And if y'all not gonna let me go home for the holidays, I'm staying the rest of the year, and you know I'm good for it. So it was like, okay, you can leave on the 20th, and the week before that, or 2 weeks before that, sports complex blew up. The day I left, a political figure in Ankara, the capital of Turkey, got assassinated.
People don't be knowing that.
They don't be knowing what be going on.
That's a whole lot to deal with in trying to hoop. Like,
yeah. And then you go somewhere and somebody...
Because you're a target. You're an American, you know?
Facts.
We stand out.
Damn Skippy.
You could be a hostage, anything.
Yeah, when I was over there, like if I go out, because I went out a lot over there, because I wasn't hooping, and I was really in a bad place. And I would tell a lot of the Turkish people that, I was like French, or I was Moroccan, because because a lot of them don't like Americans for real. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you kind of got to be careful. And me as an athlete, what I was going through on TV, I didn't even want to tell people I was an athlete. So there's some guys over there who's really getting it. Like my dog Jordan Theodore over there was getting it. Bobby Dixon was getting it. You know, doing their thing. And there was a bunch of others too. But Earl Clark, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't doing, basketball wasn't going the way I thought it was supposed to go. So me even being out there, I didn't even want to tell people I was out there hooping or playing ball. I was out there telling people I was African.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You need to do a clinic anyway on just for Euro players, 101 on, you know,
just life.
Yeah, man, like
culture.
Like it was definitely like one of the most scariest rough patches. Like I'm from Brooklyn and I've seen guys get, you know, shot at close range. I've seen guys get robbed. I've been on the train that was stuck up like twice. So I've seen like the good, bad, and the ugly.
Right.
That over there, like,
that's a whole
was unreal.
Total.
So I come back to the States after going through all of that, and I'm in the D League and I'm watching guys, you know, play, you know, go hard and like they want that call up, and they're like, I need this call up because I just need it, and I'm the best. Like I want to call up to go to the league, and I'm like, bro, like you could break your leg, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta have more to you as a person and to life,
right,
as just a basketball player. And then me being down there, I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna clean up some shit, fix my assist to turnover ratio, kind of, you know, get to know a lot of my teammates a lot more. And then I met Nate Robinson, and Nate was hella positive, and he was one of like my old heads that I had that was kind of like rocking with me because I was a young dude that kind of had game. And he was like, hey, bro, go at him, bro. Like, don't trip on nothing, bro. Like, man, F what everybody saying, play your game, bro. Be happy, bro. Like, that positive energy. And, you know, that helped me a lot, man. And I always thank him for it, bro. Like, that's my dog right there. And another dude, D. Byers, he went to Vanderbilt. He was one of my old heads, too, that was always looking out for me. And then me, I wasn't working out for real when I was down in the D League, and I was stressed for real, still trying to get over what happened in Europe. And I got back over here after that season, after the D League stint, and I was like, man, I'm about to go hard, working out 3 times a day, started doing CrossFit. And I went to a little D League showcase, and I didn't think I had to go there, but I was like, shit, I'm gonna just go. And I killed over there, averaged like, you know, 20 and 5 at the camp, 1 turnover game. I want to see me score and not turn the ball over and get my teammates involved. Did it. So now with a contract with an opportunity we want to see you in summer league. We want to bring you in mini camp. Now I know what that's like, bro. Like, all right, that's fine and all, but I just feel like I'm just worth more. So I went to China, and I got a world scoring record going over there, and I don't think people don't realize how much that meant to me as a scorer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because my agent then called me and was like, look, I got a place for you where you can score, and they'll let you score and shoot as much as you want.
Found your fit.
Yeah, but at first, because I'm still like, you know, getting over going to that D League showcase and not getting the call that I wanted. So I was like, man, is this what it's come to? Like, where am I going? And Earl Clark was in that league. Vaughn Wafer was in the league. Jonathan Gibson's in the league. You know, Isaiah Austin was there. So I'm like, all right, cool. This is a league that's, that's noted. And there was a guy that played on Peyton's team that played for Alba Berlin. You know, 2-guard. Like, you know what I'm saying? So there were guys that Mark Lyons was there. So
you got some comp
there was
over
some
here,
there, some Americans. So I'm like, all right, bet. And I get there, and I do my thing, and I broke a record, and that kind of springboarded me now to the CBA. But that's kind of my Europe story, you know, going into China. And China is a whole nother ball game. But the Europe story I told you, like, ain't even all of it. Like, I got days where I can break down individual weeks and days and really have, like, I could really make a season and episode.
Next summer we chronicling Russ Smith's journey in Europe, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
For sure, bro. Like, it's really something. Like, I think guys that, you know, that feel like they want to play basketball and do this shit for a living, and they don't understand contracts in the business, they're missing out on that aspect, and they don't, and they're gonna lose.
Yeah, it'll drown you.
It'll definitely drown you. So that was my like your stint in a nutshell.
No, I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Man,
For real.
yeah, a lot of people don't know that, man.
So the